Question 1. Which of the following correctly categorizes the three distinct types of authentication factors used in multi-factor authentication, MFA? Option A. Something you know, something you see, something you hear. Option B. Something you know, something you have, something you are. Option C. Something you remember, something you carry, something you create. Option D. Something you type, something you tap, something you scan. The correct answer is something you know, something you have, something you are. Here's the explanation. The three general categories of MFA factors are something you know, e.g. password, something you have, e.g. phone hardware token, and something you are, e.g. fingerprint facial scan. Question 2. Why is enabling multi-factor authentication, MFA, considered a fundamental best practice for Cloud Console administrative access? Option A. It simplifies the login process for administrators, reducing friction. Option B. It allows administrators to recover lost passwords without identity verification. Option C. It prevents unauthorized users from controlling cloud infrastructure even if the password is stolen. Option D. It eliminates the need for complex passwords for administrative accounts. The correct answer is, quote, it prevents unauthorized users from controlling cloud infrastructure even if the password is stolen. Here's the explanation. Securing administrative access with MFA prevents unauthorized users from taking control of an organization's entire cloud infrastructure, even if their password is stolen, significantly reducing the risk of data breaches and resource compromise. Question 3. Which of the following MFA methods is generally considered less secure than authenticator apps or hardware tokens due to potential vulnerabilities like SIM swapping? Option A. Biometrics, e.g. fingerprint scan. Option B. Hardware security keys, e.g. FIDO U2F. Option C. SMS, one-time passwords, OTPs. Option D. Authenticator apps, e.g. TOTP. The correct answer is SMS one-time passwords, OTPs. Here's the explanation. The exam tips highlight that SMS OTPs are considered less secure than authenticator apps or hardware tokens due to potential vulnerabilities such as SIM swapping. Question 4. An organization wants to implement a conditional access policy that requires multi-factor authentication, MFA, for all users attempting to access the Azure portal if their sign-in risk is detected as high. Which core components of a conditional access policy would be primarily configured for this requirement? Option A. Users and groups, cloud apps or actions, conditions, sign-in risk, and grant controls require multi-factor authentication. Option B. Client apps, device platforms, and session controls, sign-in frequency. Option C. Locations, user risk, and grant controls, block access. Option D. Exclusions for emergency accounts and persistent browser sessions. The correct answer is users and groups, cloud apps or actions, conditions, sign-in risk, and grant controls require multi-factor authentication. Here's the explanation. This scenario requires defining who, users/groups, what they are accessing, Cloud App Azure Portal, if a condition is met, sign-in risk is high, and then what action to take, grant control, require MFA. Question 5. A user attempts to access a highly sensitive application. Two conditional access policies apply to this user and application. Policy A requires MFA for all users, and Policy B blocks access if the user's sign-in risk is high. If the user's sign-in risk is currently high, what will be the outcome? Option A. The user will be prompted for MFA and then granted access. Option B. The user will be blocked from accessing the application. Option C. The user will be granted access without any additional prompts. Option D. the user will be allowed to access the application with app-enforced restrictions. The correct answer is, quote, the user will be blocked from accessing the application. Here's the explanation. Conditional access policy processing dictates that block access. Grant controls take precedence over all other grant controls. If any applicable policy blocks access, the user will be denied immediately. Question 6. An organization needs to enforce a policy where users accessing sensitive data in SharePoint Online from an unmanaged mobile device, not enrolled in Intune, are only allowed view-only access, preventing downloads. Which conditional access control would be used to achieve this specific session restriction? Option A. Require multi-factor authentication. Option B. Require device to be marked as compliant. Option C. Use app-enforced restrictions. Option D. Require hybrid Azure AD join device. The correct answer is use app-enforced restrictions. Here's the explanation. Use app-enforced restrictions is a session control that integrates with services like SharePoint Online to offer limited access capabilities, e.g. view-only, no download, when specific conditions are met, such as accessing from an unmanaged device. Question 7. Which Entra ID authentication method synchronizes a hash of the user's on-premises password to Entra ID, allowing Entra ID to perform authentication directly without requiring an on-premises agent for validation? Option A. Pass-through authentication, PTA. Option B. Federated authentication, ADFS. Option C. Password hash synchronization, PHS. Option D. Windows Hello for Business. The correct answer is password hash synchronization, PHS. Here's the explanation. Password hash synchronization, PHS, specifically synchronizes a hash of the user's on-premises Active Directory password hash to Entra ID, enabling Entra ID to handle authentication directly. Pass-through authentication, PTA, uses an on-premises agent for validation, and federated authentication redirects to an external IDP. Windows Hello for Business is a passwordless method. Question 8. A security-conscious organization wants to implement a phishing-resistant, passwordless authentication method for its Windows devices, leveraging a Trusted Platform Module, TPM. Which Entra ID authentication method would best meet this requirement? Option A. SMS, text message. Option B. Microsoft Authenticator app, TOTP. Option C. FIDO2 security keys. Option D. Windows Hello for Business. The correct answer is Windows Hello for Business. Here's the explanation. Windows Hello for Business provides biometric, fingerprint, facial recognition, or PIN-based authentication for Windows devices, leveraging a Trusted Platform Module, TPM, for enhanced security. It is a passwordless and phishing-resistant method for device login. While FIDO2 keys are also phishing-resistant and passwordless, Windows Hello for Business is specifically tailored for Windows devices and its TPM integration. Question 9. An administrator wants to ensure that users accessing sensitive financial applications must use a combination of a FIDO2 security key and a push notification from the Microsoft Authenticator app. Which Entra ID feature, used with conditional access, allows defining and enforcing this specific requirement for authentication? Option A. Self-Service Password Reset, SSPR. Option B. Temporary Access Pass, TAP. Option C. Authentication Strengths. Option D. Federated Authentication. The correct answer is Authentication Strengths. Here's the explanation. Authentication Strengths is a conditional access feature that allows administrators to define specific combinations of authentication methods, e.g. FIDO2 plus Authenticator push, that must be used for accessing sensitive resources. SSPR is for password resets, TAP is for temporary access/onboarding, and federated authentication is a primary authentication method. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.